Thank you for picking up the Sticks. This is episode 104, Sticks Gaming Podcast. I'm Mike Carnett. To my somewhere is Mike Steak Carnia.
What's going on?
And to my other whatever is Art, Gameplay Not Included, Rosian.
Yeah.
That about sums it up.
That sums up since the last time we did this. What I got going on in my life?
It's called a tone setter, is what that is. So earlier today, like we said, are we posting on time or no? Are we still gonna have it tomorrow?
I don't know. Talk to the video guy.
Right. We will.
I'm just a talent. So
maybe I'll remember to do it before like 4 p.m.
That's up to this guy.
Yeah,
point the other way.
Time is.
For me,
I have nothing to do with this, or the space of nothingness. But yeah. So we're recording later because we had the Inside Xbox today, which was a bunch of Xbox Series X announcements, games, things like that they showed for the first time ever. So we had a chance to check that out earlier this morning. So that's going to be our main topic. So we'll get to that a little bit after some other news that happened between last time and this time, because things actually kind of happened. A few things here and there happened. But first, Steak, what you playing?
All right, quite a bit this time. So kick things off. Final Fantasy VII Remake is done. I've completed the story. Still got to do a whole bunch of the extra stuff, but for now, the story's done. It took me about 40 hours to complete.
Okay.
Oh my god, this game's near perfection. It's so good. Oh, it's so awesome. I mean, obviously, if it would just hit a different name, it would be perfect. No. But no, seriously though, like everything about this was just amazing. It was awesome. I know that the ending's causing some controversy with people. I personally,
like, without spoiling it, is the ending like a worthwhile ending for a 40-hour game? I remember how the Midgard portion ends in the original, and it's just kind of like you've come this far. Now you're going out into the rest of the world,
right?
Which might be the ending of this one, but the rest of the world's going to come in like 3 years.
Right.
Three. Hold on.
I'm being optimistic. Okay.
Okay.
Part two.
Yeah.
Part two.
No, they're going to call it Final Fantasy VII Remake again. They're not going to put any numbers on it.
Oh, I like it. That's fine.
Final Fantasy VII Remake -2.
Yeah. But no, yeah. It still felt like great. Like there's like without. It's hard to say without.
Like there was a big it was a big like showpiece worthy ending for 40 hours of your time.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I was saying that transition in the original game is like leading up to the part is fine, but then you get to that last battle on the bridge, and then you're just kind of standing on the other bridge, like, meh, all right, on to the next portion of the adventure.
Right. Well, they basically kind of added another chapter to that from the original, and it is super epic. It's awesome. It is everything I've always wanted for something. So it's so hard not to spoil.
I appreciate the lengths you're going to here.
Absolutely. It sounds terrible, but that's as vague as I have to be, because anything else I say is going to be a spoiler. So I'm going to leave it at that. But no, it was so awesome. So now this is just going to make the wait for the next one so much more painful.
Fortunately, there's things happening between now and then. So
absolutely, yeah, got some stuff to preoccupy yourself. Oh, nice.
Hey, listen, I'd do it if we were there in person. I'm not going to stop doing it now.
That's valid. So I also started Trials of Mana, or Mana, and about 7 hours into that so far. Super enjoying it. It's great. It looks great. It plays great even on Switch. It has a little bit of frame rate issues here and there, but I don't care. For being on a handheld, you deal with it. So it's great. I also picked up that Sakura Wars. So this is kind of like a reboot to the series. So this was a very huge popular series back in Japan. It was on Sega Saturn, and I think they had one or two of them on Dreamcast. So this is the first one since, what did I see? 2005. So it's the first time in 15 years. So they're kind of basically calling this like a soft reboot. It's pretty interesting. I'm in chapter 2 of it right now. Probably like about 4 hours or so in. But it's basically kind of like your typical like visual novel anime kind of walking around talking to different characters and stuff, but then mixed in with a mech action RPG. So kind of just spice things up after a while. And it runs great. It's cool. It's funny. It's hilarious. It's stupid, like your cheesy kind of anime you kind of expect, but it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. And then I decided to finally try again The Last of Us. So I've started up The Last of Us Remastered since I was on from. I think we got it for PlayStation Plus some months back for free. God, so I think I'm almost done with Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I've met
it's been a while. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I've met up with the one black guy and his kid or brother. I'm not exactly sure what they are. I'm blanking on their names right now.
All I have here is the guy from The Walking Dead, and I know that's wrong. So.
Yes, you meet up with Lee and Clem, and
yeah,
right. So I'm near. So this was right after the tank part in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So I finally escaped the tank, and now I ran into these two guys. So now I think this guy and kid. So I think this is kind of like it feels like this is the final burst for the Pittsburgh area.
Okay.
The story is great. The story is fantastic. Like I'm really, really enjoying the story. I am just struggling with the gameplay. It is so slow, like really slow.
I think it's one of those things. Like it's designed to be, it's like you're supposed to be sneaking and crafting and building and doing things like that.
Right.
You're trying to figure out because you're pretty vulnerable to begin with, and then, the other human characters are pretty lethal, but even the clickers and things like that are way more lethal. So you have to take it slow, but that just may not just be your cup of tea.
Right. It's just I don't know. It's just certain parts of it like that, and that seems to be the part that really get me is the clickers part, where you got to be more stealthy and stuff. And it's like I think I'm doing and this is how I am with like every stealthy type of game. I start doing like really, really good. I'm like, oh, I got this. I'm fine. Then all of a sudden I'm like, how did you hear me? All of a sudden you're all attacking me. How did that happen? Like I it's just like one of those kind of moments. Like what the hell? But I don't know. It's just weird because like when I'll like progress in it and then I'll look at the clock and I'm like I've only been playing for like an hour and a half. I feel like I've been playing this all night. Like it's like one of those kind of feelings. Like, but it sucks because it's like I really am enjoying the story though. Mm-hmm. The story parts of it is awesome. The game definitely did pick up when, spoilers, it's old, so you probably played it, but when Tess finally did it, it definitely picked up after that.
You posted on Facebook about it, and that's like I wanted to reply to you because you said something about Tess, and I was like, if Tess is still in your party, you haven't played much, just keep going.
Yeah.
That's why I threw out there. I'm like, I don't remember how far it is, but I know she's gone by then. I'm like, play till you get to Pittsburgh, and if it doesn't grab you, then bail.
Mm-hmm. Right, and that's why I am trying. So I'm trying to keep it going because, like I said, the story is that good that I do really want to keep going. So I'm doing my best. I'm playing it on easy, and I'm still struggling. Like it's tough.
Well, on one hand, it's like it's not like most games that you play. It's like bullets do come at a premium, and you have to choose when to use them and when not to use them. When's it a better idea to distract your enemies and sneak around them than to actually engage? And
right.
It's not completely unique, but it's different than a lot of games you play, especially zombie games.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And I know I struggle with that kind of stuff, but it's all right. I'm gonna keep chucking. I'm hoping I can finish it. I got what, about a month or so here before The Last of Us. So
yeah, almost exactly a month.
Yeah, so we'll see. And then I picked up for really cheap. I've heard good things about this before, and it was finally on sale on Switch. Evoland. So this game it's an RPG, but what it is you start in like a Game Boy RPG, but then you get like a chest, and then it adds color. Then you get another chest, and then it turns it into 16-bit. Like it's like it keeps evolving this your RPG aspect of it. So like when I first entered a town, I got the first chest and I had pre-rendered graphics, so it looked like a PS1 kind of background. But then a little bit into the town, I unlocked another chest and then I had full HD, so it looked like I upgraded to PS2 now. And the gameplay mechanics change with that and everything as well. So it's really interesting. It was
Cool.
$5, and you get Evoland 1 and 2. So I'm still on the first one. I'm only like a couple hours in, but it was really it's pretty interesting. It's neat. And then last but not least, I am finally on the final chapter of Yakuza 0.
Oh, I saw you playing it a couple days ago.
Yes, I finally, I'm like, you know what? I need to get through these Yakuza games. I really want to get through them, especially, we'll talk about it a little bit later with the new one coming out. So I'm on the final chapter, probably have usually the final chapters are a little bit longer because there's a lot of story. So I've probably got a couple hours left, but yeah, I'm hoping to wrap that up in the next day or two. And yeah, I'm loving it. It's oh my god, this story's been fantastic. And like, it's funny because like I've told people like to start with Yakuza 0, and I still agree with it because in terms of like the way things happen. But if you've played the first Yakuza, there's a couple things near the end here that you kind of appreciate a little bit more if you've already played Yakuza Kiwami, and then it's one of those kind of things because it came out so much later, and so it makes some references and stuff. And you're like, oh, this is cool. I know exactly what's like kind of going on here, which is just really neat. And but if you've never played it, it's still, like I said, you'll still be fine. You just kind of miss out on that a little bit. But yeah, so it's been a busy couple of weeks here.
I said, there's a lot. There's a lot going on there. I have.
Well, now that Final Fantasy VII Remake, that was my thing. I had to finish that, and that's the reason why I haven't gone back and done like all the other stuff. I'm like, all right, I got all this other stuff I want to play and get back into. So eventually, I'll dive back into Final Fantasy VII and do the extra stuff.
So
gotcha.
2 questions. One, you finished Final Fantasy VII, which pulled you away from Persona 5, and you didn't go back to Persona 5. What happened there?
Not yet. It's on my list. It's on my list.
Those long games like that, I have a hard time going back to after a while away because it's like, I guess any game, like I had a hard time with the Horizon. Like, I went back to Horizon. I'm like, I don't remember how to draw a fucking arrow.
I didn't bring it up, but I actually, after the Assassin's Creed announcement, I tried going back into Origins. I'm like, God, I really just need to finish Origins. Yeah, my first mission, I got lit up. I had no idea what the controls were. I had no idea how to parry, how to block. I had no idea to do anything. And I'm like, nah, I'm okay.
I think that's also part of like the Control was our game of the year last year, but that's part of like the greatness of that game. It's like when I jumped back in and did the DLC, The Foundry, that was like months later, and it was like riding a bike. Like I just got right back in. I was shooting, flying, and doing like everything. Like I didn't miss a beat. So I think that might be, I don't know if it's something to the complexity of like your options of controls, which I think I'll get into a little bit of that when I'm talking about what I'm playing. But like, yeah, if the more, almost sometimes like more options, not just like the length of the game, but if you have like a ton of different ways you can play that game, when you jump back in, what are you gonna do?
Right. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I agree. That's why, like with Persona 5, I'm not worried. It's your typical JRPG turn-based, so like that's super easy just to jump back into. So
nice.
No, that's on my radar to get back into very soon.
All right, what you playing?
Not much.
I've
been busy with life. Things are happening. Played a little more Final Fantasy VII Remake. That game, I'm like, it's one of those games that when I sit down to play it, it's going to be hours that I'm sitting there playing it. So I'm not playing it like on a daily basis. It's like once a week I'll jump in and knock out a chapter or two, depending on how long they are, and then I'll go out in my life, and that'll be my gaming for that day.
Where are you at?
I don't even remember.
Okay.
Do not even remember. I want to say I've gotten Ares already, or Aerith. Don't want to offend the hardcore fans, Aerith.
Yeah.
I got to her, got to her house, delivered the flowers to the community center. I think that's about where I left off, I think.
Okay. Gotcha.
Did all the little side missions for the kids in their hideout and fighting the random monsters that show up for them.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't played that one in like probably a week, so it's been a minute. Outside of that, just more of the usual. Might have played a round or two of Warzone. Played a couple matches of Rainbow Six. Played some baseball. Played some more Hunt Showdown.
Have you done the new limited time thing on Siege?
No.
Is it like Larceny or something like that?
Yeah, it's something like that. They just launched that yesterday, and I went to bed yesterday night.
Nice. Good for you. I did not.
Yeah.
So
Yesterday, it's been a busy week. I'll tell you guys more when we're done recording.
okay.
Sounds good.
But yeah, that's about it. I mean, I haven't had a ton of time to play stuff, so that's all I got.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of manual
I
labor.
played a lot of Yahtzee on my phone.
Nice. Have you tried Uno yet?
No.
Uno is also worth your time.
Are there profile pictures and how many dick pics show up?
None yet.
Okay.
Yet. But
yeah, it's a little calmed down from the 360 days.
I don't know how you like. Do you just like know you're gonna lose? So like at that point you pull your pants down, or are you just like instead of throwing the controller, you throw your pants?
It's like the cycle of abuse. You had it happen once to you, so now you think I'm gonna do this to people. And you just think it's normal.
Acceptable.
Yeah. This is normal. This is what I experience. This is what everyone should experience. It's probably a terrible analogy to make.
So what I've been playing, I only got one thing to talk about, and it's Red Dead Redemption 2. And I'm not going to talk a ton about it because.
Hey, guess what? It's on Game Pass.
I know. It was like, what was the thing? Like at one point, I had the Xbox version in my hands. I was going to buy that one, and then, but I said I had the original Xbox One. So like that's the worst way to play the game. So like, okay, I ended up getting it on the PlayStation Pro. So it's one less than the X, which I'm not going to just buy for for this.
Right.
Anyway, but yeah, so I'm not going to talk a ton about it, but I'll tell you the exact moment where I fell in love with the game because I am really liking it. So I was like, when you're just riding around, like all these random things happen. People call you off the road, be like, "Hey, help me," or "Hey, do you want this?" or "Hey, can I do this for you?" There's a million things that can happen. At one time, this guy comes out of the bushes and he's wearing the striped suit of like an inmate from back then. So he's like, "Hey, come here, to shoot my chain so I can get out of here. Like I deserve a second chance. I have no idea who this guy is. I've never met him before. I don't know what he did. I don't know anything." And so just like, no, I lassoed him and tied him up and put him on the back of my horse. I'm like, I wonder if I can turn him in for money. So nothing prompted me. Nothing told me I could do this. So I rode into town and dropped him and went into the sheriff's the sheriff's office and dropped him in a cell. And I got $12 for my troubles. Like,
hey,
how is $12 in the economy of that game? Is that decent chunk of change or?
Yeah, they'll buy me a hat.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So I drop him off, and then I'm walking back out, and I'm just kind of walking up the street. I was going to go to the general goods store, and out of the saloon, somebody just gets thrown out of a window in the saloon, and some guy comes after him and just like, "You don't touch my woman." And they fight in the middle of the street, and it has nothing to do with me. I could intervene, I guess, if I wanted to, but I was like part of the crowd, like just watching this all happen in front of me. One guy won the fight and went back in the bar and kept drinking, and then I just went about my day. Like that was like, all these things are just happening all the time, and it's really cool. And like I've been playing for 15 to 20-ish hours at this point.
Oh wow!
And I really haven't had anything really repeat yet. So like new things are still happening, and new dialogue and new events and all this kind of stuff is just constantly changing. And every single time I go out for a mission, I don't know what I'm getting into. Like it's really diverse, and a lot of it is really fun. And some parts of it are like actually genuinely funny too. Like at one point I saved one of the people in my camp, because you have like a base camp where you're out of town because you are outlaws and you're running away from the first city. You can't really join a new city yet because the heat's still kind of on you. So you're like you make your own camp. You get one of your guys back to your camp. In the camp, like you get back to the camp and there's just a big party. Like all the stuff you can do is shut down. Like everyone's drinking and playing games and singing songs. You can join in. Like I can just hit a sing song button. And I'm singing songs. There's whiskey and beer everywhere. I keep drinking and getting more drunk. And
is this a game or is this for your dreams in real life? Because you miss it so much.
It's crazy. and like as I'm drinking more and more, like the screen's getting all crazy, like GTA style. Like they've been doing that forever. But like the prompts on the screen are like getting misspelled and weird. Like it'll say drink again, but it's spelled like DINRK. Like it's all messed up, and it's just it's really clever, and it does a lot of things really, really well. But like I said, I don't need to sing the praises of this game. I am surprised I'm liking it as much as I am. I know I still have about, I don't know, 2,000 hours left to do in the game. So at some point I might jump. But as it stands right now, it's just like every time I get on my horse and leave my camp, I have no idea what the heck's going to happen, and it's super fun. Like that's just a kind of a unique thing to do because, I mean, you're constantly just going over different things. Like when you're playing different games, and you're constantly just doing a lot of the same stuff over and over and over and over and over again. But this doesn't have that. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it a lot more than I did, and basically for the price of shipping, I got that game. So I'm definitely getting a bang for my buck on that one.
For sure.
But that's all I really get to say about. I'll share more stories next time. I'll share one more story. It also involves lassoing, where this guy comes out of the bushes again, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm hurt." So I get down. I'm gonna help him because the way I'm playing the game is like, if you are a threat to me or my camp, or like a rival gang, you're dead. You're dead. I want nothing to do with you. I don't care if you're a civilian or whatever, but like if you're gonna rat me out to the police, I'm gonna kill you before you get there. But if you're not, I'll be a generally good human being because it's old times and it sucks.
For
so
sure.
The guy comes out like, help me. So I get off my horse and he pulls a gun on me. And I didn't have my gun on me because it was still on the horse. And he goes, he takes my horse. My horse bucks him off. I did have my lasso on me though, so I lasso him, hog tie him, and I drag him. I dragged that guy. I dragged that guy for so long for tricking me, just because I was just so embarrassed. I dragged that guy for as long as I possibly could, and I dumped him on and he died a long time ago from the dragging, but I still dragged him some more, and then I just left him on some train tracks, and then I left.
Awesome.
So that's Red Dead Redemption 2. So Steak, what's coming out next couple weeks?
All right. Like barely anything. I got one game here.
It must be great.
Oh, actually, it's a good one. May 19th. The Wonderful 101 remastered for PC, Switch, and PS4.
Yeah, people are excited about that one.
Absolutely. It's definitely one I missed on Wii U. So I'm going to wait for a sale on Switch. So I think I'll give that a go because everyone's obsessed with that one. So we also have new PlayStation Plus games for May, regardless if you want them or not. We have them. We have Farming Simulator 19. We can all get in on the tournament now.
I wish, at this point, we were still doing My Gift to You because someone would be farming.
Why don't we all just play it? Why don't we all just play it?
We probably should.
We should.
Let's just all just play it when you talk about it next time.
See who has. Okay, sure. Nothing else is going on right now.
Yeah. For you.
And the other game is City Skylines. So it's kind of weird that we got like two similar games like in the same month.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I've heard City Skylines is actually pretty decent, but it's just I don't know. It's really weird. They usually at least give us like a couple two different type of games.
Yeah, especially, and they had at one point, I saw like I don't know if it was like the room or whatever, but it was supposed to be like Dying Light and something else that were both like,
and Dark Souls remastered.
That's right. I was like,
dude,
okay,
if it was those two, that would have been insane.
That's a much more exciting lineup.
I'd play Dying Light again.
I was gonna say I've never played Dying Light. I would totally play it. Like, yeah, that'd have been. I would love to get that for free before the second one next year.
I saw that Dying Light was on sale last week for like $8. I was like, what the hell about it? I didn't because I saw that mock-up, and that was like the exact opposite of Red Dead Redemption. It was just like, now I don't have it. Now it's not on sale anymore. Now it's like.
Dying Light was a good time.
Yeah. Xbox games with gold for May. On Xbox One, V-Rally 4 from May 1st through the 31st, and Warhammer Inquisitor from May 16th through June 15th. And for Xbox 360, that's also playable on your Xbox One, from May 1st through the 15th, Sensible World of Soccer, and Overlord from May 16th through the 31st. If you've never played Overlord, it is awesome.
Question from the audience.
Thank you. What's the Sensible World of Soccer?
Oh, dude, it's like I saw some screenshots for it. I think it's like a soccer sim.
So it's not just a bunch of people talking about soccer sensibly. Like, is that just that's the only thing that makes sense.
It's not the least entertaining sports talk radio show ever.
And There's like a whole bunch of like little guys like on the screen or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I got it because it's free. So, but I haven't loaded it. I have no idea. But Overlord. If you've never played Overlord on 360, it's awesome. It's basically Pikmin, but a little bit more
Okay.
like darker gothic style.
I can see the cover in my mind, but I didn't know what it was.
There's a guy with the big crown on it,
Mhm.
and then you got your little demons, your different colored demons that do
Okay.
different things. Like your red demon shoots fire and all that. Like I said, it's very similar to Pikmin, but in a little bit more mature way. And it's really really good. I was obsessed with that when I was out on 360. And then some stuff that came to Game Pass and is coming to Game Pass, as we already said. Red Dead Redemption 2 is available now. DayZ is also available right now on Game Pass. On May 14th, Final Fantasy IX will be available on Game Pass. And Fractured Mind on May 19th.
Yeah, when I saw that DayZ thing, that's interesting. Like that was one of the first things I ever watched
I'm
streaming
curious
somebody play.
what the status of that game, what the state of that game is at this point, because it's either got a super rabid player base and like those people have just stuck with it, or it's like a ghost town.
Yeah, and then I had to like go. I don't know if I just wasn't awake or whatever. Then I saw that announcement that DayZ is on there. I was like, wait, that's already on there. And I was thinking about World War Z. And then
right.
a couple more scrolls later, I said like, no, coming soon, the World War Z Game of the Year edition. But like, no one just no one awarded that Game of the Year, right? Like no.
Maybe like an
no
internally developed podcast from the developer did.
Right.
It's not bad.
I was I've
Not
heard
Game
good
of the
things.
Year.
I've heard it's fun, but yeah, not like no, not a gaudy edition.
No.
So we
Anyway.
we need to get like that build your own RPG thing and make a really crappy game in there and give it our Game of the Year next year.
Or just the initial release Game of the Year, because no one cares. This all means nothing.
Yeah.
So who like Part 1 Game of the Year.
That's right.
All right. That's something that's.
You just want to call it Part 1 because Square Enix didn't use Part 1, didn't you?
Everything's Part 1. Everything's Part 1.
You plan on making a sequel? No. But just in case.
Neither do they. So that's all right.
It's there.
Extra.
It's time for some news.
News.
Okay. Let's see. Xbox has announced that they're doing a monthly showcase every month leading up to the Xbox Series X launch. Today they did their third-party announcements. I think, is it next month they're doing the first-party stuff?
July.
Okay.
They haven't said anything about next month yet, but July for first party.
So they're going with the slow trickle of information approach. Well,
hey, at least we have a path for them.
June is June when E3 usually is?
Yeah.
Correct.
So maybe they'll do more information on the hardware then?
I think that would make sense. Like June is like the hardware blowout, maybe even like pricing and like
that. Yeah. Yep, because I feel like E3, because that's usually what they did. I think for, what was it, that's what they've done for the last couple. E3 or 360 for sure, and I think it was the Xbox One Project Scorpio as well. Release date and price at E3.
Right, but I'm trying to remember when Xbox One, I don't think they had that like event.
With no E3, you can't do any predictions or
I know.
betting or.
I know. It's the worst.
Still champion.
I know.
I think it's like interim now because you're not. It's like it's vacated because you're not defending your title. I think that's how it works, right? You haven't defended your title in like 13 months. So.
No fights have been presented to me. Okay.
What about the fantasy? How about who won the fantasy?
That was a test league. It said it.
By the way, yeah.
Bullshit.
By the way, if all my games would have released, I would have crushed you all. I would have crushed every single one of you with Animal Crossing and what was the other one? Oh, Will of the Wisp. Those two games alone would have crushed all of you.
But
fucking Ghost Recon almost ruined it for me.
I know. But they didn't release.
Okay, moving on. Assassin's Creed Valhalla was announced.
Yes.
It's a Viking game.
It's an awesome looking one.
Yeah, it looks really good. Release date, they said holiday 2020, so possibly next gen launch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Well, it says available holiday 2020 on Series X, PS5, Xbox One, PS4, Stadia, and PC. So everything except Switch.
That version will come 2 years from now.
Looking at how that game looks, that I wouldn't play on a Switch. So
no,
they'd have to do like a separate development team doing the same thing, but for Switch.
Well, that's why I think eventually Origins and Odyssey are to get ported to the Switch, but not for a few
Right.
years. Like
Yeah.
because they got it downgraded and everything. Just like because I mean 3, 4, and Rogue just got on there. So I mean it's one of
Yeah.
they'll eventually be on Switch, but it'll be way later because yeah, like you said, it needs a whole different development team.
Yeah.
And the two things that I saw that were most interesting to me were, one, they're saying it's not going to be the biggest and longest Assassin's Creed in the series, because it's like Origins was, then Odyssey was, and that was too big. But that was
Right.
one of those things where it's just like there's markers and things everywhere. So like there was just almost too much to do, and people are playing the game for like again like 200, 250 hours, and they're still doing stuff. And then they had DLC after that.
And it's one of those things. I think when you make it that big, like all those markers and everything, someone put like time and effort into building out whatever that is, whether it's a hidden item or a side mission or whatever, and in the end, it ends up being a waste of time if most of your players don't end up doing that stuff.
Right.
So it makes sense to scale it down and maybe just have things a little tighter and more condensed.
Right.
Yeah.
Then number 2 was they're doing like where you're building up your own camp, which I think are your own not installment. I'm talking about
Cult.
Whatever. Sure. No, your own, like you basically make your own camp, and I think that's really cool because like I love that about I think it was Assassin's Creed 2. I think had the villa or Brotherhood. One of those.
It wasn't Brotherhood.
No. I know. Yeah, you're right. 'Cause I think the beginning of Brotherhood like burns down. So you constantly have like a home base where you're constantly upgrading and updating. And it sounds like you're going to have some story choices to make that are going to really impact how your camp is going to either thrive or have some troubles or whatever it may be. So I think having that home base is really cool. And I think
is settlement the word you were looking for?
Settlement. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Settlement. Thank you.
I had to Google it.
I don't feel as bad. Yeah, so like when you have like your actual settlement, I think, and expanding in that, I think that's really cool. I think the Viking thing's really cool. It's much darker than the last two games were. Just by setting alone, like being in England, it's going to be rainy, it's going to be dark sometimes, and things like that. So like I'm super pumped for this game. That game looks really, really good.
Plus, I would think.
And they confirm you go to Stonehenge.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
I would think people who are super into Black Flag will probably. Maybe they're trying to reel them back in here because a big part of Vikings is the Viking warships, and granted it's not pirate warships, but you can.
Well, they had
sail.
They had ships in the other ones. Yeah, they had ships in the other ones too, but it wasn't like. It seems like this is going to be much more like you making your raiding party. Like you have your raiding party in these ships, going to these places, trying to take down strongholds, and it looks really, really cool.
Yep. Next news bit. Jeff Keighley has announced that he's doing a Summer Game Fest. It doesn't sound like it's one big event. It's just like a bunch of announcements spread out over the course of May through August. Which is pretty cool. I mean, you don't have that constraint of it's E3. We need to cram everything in 3 days thing.
Right.
So I mean, even for the companies or developers involved in it, it makes more sense to spread it out. And here we're going to announce we're going to talk about your thing today. Here's your week to shine.
Right.
People you can be the buzz for this week or 2 weeks or whatever, and then I think the only thing on the schedule right now is the Xbox thing today, and next week something titled Sunrise #1 on the website, which is supposed to be a game reveal.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean that's a week before the next announcement, basically.
Yeah, and it's really I think it's really interesting the way they're doing it, because not only do you have like E3 crammed into like those 3 days where everyone's trying to get as much clicks and mind share during that three time period, but you also have all the development time leading up to that time period. So like if someone can put together something a little bit nicer, like a month later, or maybe make a demo available to the public like a month later, as opposed to having it in June, have it like ready in July or August. Like right. I think it's just having the chance. It's going to give the developers a chance to do something a little bit different, I think, and and it's like I call it like the black hole of E3, where E3 used to be. Like they're starting to fill in. It's starting to kind of take a little more of a shape, as opposed to just being like, I have no idea how this year is going to look.
Right.
And the last bit of news I have here is Sony announced updated release dates for The Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. The Last of Us 2 will be out on June, I think that's 19th. I wrote down.
That sounds
And
right.
Ghost of Tsushima will be out on July 17th.
Yes. Very
God
excited
damn,
for
that's
both
close.
those. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And yeah. It's not uncommon, I guess. I mean, for them to do that, but I think Last of Us shouldn't take you a month to finish.
Right. Yeah. It just seems like, if they're these are their big AAA titles they have coming out, like to put them that close together seems, I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. They're coming out. That's awesome.
Well, I have a feeling that Last of Us 2 is coming out earlier than they anticipated with the leaks. And
Yeah,
that's
there was
why
like
that's why they decided to push the Ghost of Tsushima. I have a feeling that kind of pushed it to come out sooner.
Yeah, and I think in the last
'cause
day or two they announced Last of Us 2 has gone gold. So
I
Yeah.
saw that. I have muted everything that looks like The Last of Us on Twitter at this point.
Yep, me too.
'cause-
I muted everything. I even muted like Naughty Dog's account. I'm like, nope.
Oh,
I didn't mute their account, but I muted the words Naughty Dog.
okay.
I'm like,
That's a good idea.
I'm out. I don't want to see any of this stuff. I'm sorry.
I didn't mute the block the Naughty Dog Twitter handle, but like so I saw that apparently they released like a trailer yesterday or something like that. I had no
Today.
idea that
Me
they
either.
actually did that.
Until you just said that, I had no idea. So
Yeah, I mean I didn't watch it. Again, I didn't watch it because
Supposedly
I'm good.
everyone says it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
The trailer. I haven't watched it myself since I am going through Last of Us right now because the little clip I saw some flashbacks to the remastered version. I could tell. So I was like, I'm not gonna watch this because if I'm going through this, I don't want something to get spoiled for me in this stupid trailer.
And you don't want to like search it and God, something's gonna come up that you don't want to see. Not I mean for the new game too. So like I'm just like I'm in. I want it. I don't need any more information about it. So I am just radio silent until June 19th or wherever it was. So
yep, those might be my last 2 physical games I ever buy.
I think I'm already off that bandwagon. Only I said, well, I did just buy Red Dead. So
I ordered Cyberpunk, but I ordered it for PC, so I imagine that'll come with a Steam code or something.
Yeah, I would think
Probably.
so.
I mean, I ordered it through Best Buy for store pickup, so we'll see how that goes. But those might be the last 2 games I buy on disc. Here.
What a world! What a world!
I won't stop.
So today, Inside Xbox did a big hoopla about it. They announced a few days. It's like last week, I think they said like this is gonna be the first time they got Xbox Series X gameplay, and then they had a half-hour video conference, and people were not happy. So
nope.
I haven't read reactions anywhere. I know I have my own reaction to it, which I'm not gonna say I'm not happy, but it definitely leaves me sitting there going, "What? What?"
Yeah, I set an alarm for this.
I didn't. I watched it right before I signed on to this call, so I forgot all about it. And I was sitting on the couch. I'm like, "Oh shit, we got to talk about something."
But we're gonna go through the notes of it here because Stace got all together. So we'll go game by game. They had about a dozen games, I think, in that ballpark, is what they showed.
Yep.
So, Steak, take it away.
All right, so they kicked off the show with something new, Bright Memory Infinite. This is kind of like a first-person shooter meets swordplay meets like racing kind of thing.
Meets grapple gun, meets.
Yeah, I was like, is this Dishonored? Is this Cyberpunk?
Right.
What is this? And then it wasn't. It was something new.
Yeah, supposedly developed by one guy. All of this.
Yeah,
like they
nuts.
were saying, like that's crazy. It looked awesome.
Mm-hmm. But it's also this was the first thing I saw. This is the first trailer they showed, and it said, it said something like in-engine footage or something along those lines too. It was just like I was like, what are we doing here? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, the Xbox's definition of gameplay is different from everyone else's.
Well, so is there a definition of exclusive?
Well, that's true.
And free
world premiere and
yeah.
Yeah. So, but regardless, that Bright Memory Infinite, it's on my radar. It looks pretty cool.
It did look cool.
It looked neat.
I would say that there's one or two issues I have just with what they showed. Like the initial part they show where you're shotgunning and machine gunning and sword fighting and grappling and parrying and everything under the sun and scorpion hooking and all this other stuff. so they either showed you like what your capabilities are in like the last third of the game when you get all those skills, or there's going to be a super steep learning curve to do all that shit right off the bat.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't mention. Well, last thing we talk about Red Dead because I literally just stopped playing right before we played here. Like there is so much instruction in that game. It like hurts my brain because there's so much you can do.
Oh yeah.
And I felt like that. Like I feel like this is one of those things too. Where it's just like I have 5 million options. All right, I'm gonna do 3 things I know work, and just do those over and over and over again. That's kind of how I get that vibe off this one.
Yeah.
Okay. What's next?
After that, so cool thing is during this we got two little new things that would pop up during a trailer. So during this one we got the smart delivery little pop up came up for Dirt 5. So that means Dirt 5, if you buy it on Xbox One, you are also going to get the Series X version as well. So this was the world premiere, I believe, of the announcement of Dirt 5. It looked good.
Yeah, what was the second? There was the smart delivery and then
Game Pass.
Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's a lot that's on there. Cool. Dirt 5.
Yep, people love that series. So the next one is coming to Game Pass, and that is Scorn. This was like this crazy. It's going to be a crazy first-person horror game. I did not know this, but I guess I saw some stuff. I guess back in 2017, they actually showed some gameplay of this. There was an early development.
Oh.
For Xbox One. But now since it's been gone for a while, they completely, I guess, revamped it. Yeah. So but it's gonna be available on Game Pass.
Yeah, it looked like that was one that looked like a mix between like Aliens and a Tool music video, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was like the HR Geiger, I think the guy's name was, something like that. It reminded me a lot of that kind of stuff. I have no idea what the hell is going on, but it looked creepy.
It's on Game Pass. I'll be downloading that game one.
Listen, like I also felt like, cool, Blair Witch. All right, I'll check it out. And it was one of my favorite games from last year. So like maybe this would be the same kind of a thing.
After that, we got another smart delivery game, Corvus Rise as One, coming in 2021, and this kind of reminded me of Control. Like it had like that Control, like the vibe of it. At least.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah, the red blockiness of Control, but that was when they had all like the airships, right? Like weren't they constantly flying around? Or am I thinking something different?
Okay. No, you're right. Yep.
Yeah, it's like Control and like what was that? Battle? Was it Battle Link? What was it called with the little toys?
Oh, Starlink.
Starlink. Yeah.
Yep.
Who was that? It was like Control and Starlink.
Control, Starlink, and Everspace all in the one.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
No. It actually was funny because like when they showed the space parts and all that looked really, really sharp. When they showed the main female, I'm assuming protagonist, she did not look great.
Yeah.
Like, the character model did not look good.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember if it was this one, but there was definitely a handful of games in here that, like, for as much as Microsoft is trying to sell the Series X on its graphic capabilities, and there's a lot of games they showed where the graphics just weren't great.
Yeah.
And I know some of those were like the art style, and that's one thing. But there's other ones like, and this might be the one I'm thinking of, but like the character models just didn't look good, especially compared to some of the other stuff they showed.
And I just feel it was like a third-party show, and a lot of the third parties they showed were like not big studios, just kind of like
stuff for the most part.
So like you want to like, I mean, Ubisoft is a AAA studio, so their stuff looks amazing. But we'll get to that in a minute. But like Art just said, if you're going to be like, this is the most powerful home system of all time, and then you'd show like just like that, what you showed is just like, do you want like one? I figured you would want like one other AAA with like a ton of like a huge like a big studio with a just showing something impressive,
right?
Just visually, even.
Yep, I agree.
That was next.
So after that, we got our first look at Madden 21 for like 2 seconds.
I was floored. I was floored.
It looked like
Madden showed up at this thing.
Looked a lot like Madden 20, if I'm gonna be honest.
The second and a half that they showed of the new one.
They showed it. I'm like, I know that spin animation.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The trailer was cool, like going through the different eras of Madden.
Mhm.
Like that's neat. But then, yeah, like literally, like what was that? Like a second and a half of
There was
what is
more
supposed to be Madden
Patrick.
21?
Yeah, there was more Patrick Mahomes than
Who's not
anything
even the
else.
cover athlete from Madden
Yeah,
21.
right.
See, that didn't make any sense. Yeah, where was Lamar Jackson? Like, why? Yeah, he should have been the one talking and doing everything.
But it was just like
and,
we all okay, but we're gonna spend time on Madden right now. Like I put probably 150 hours into Madden this year because I went nuts with it. I love Madden. I also know it's going to be coming out on everything.
Yeah.
Why? What EA doesn't have anything else to show right now, or somebody else to like. Why are we doing this? Why are we spending precious time on this thing that's been hyped up for a week, and not even show gameplay or show anything like really substantial?
I mean,
I don't know.
The only thing I think of is, they did show a lot of like studios we've never heard of and games we've never heard of. Maybe they felt the need to get another big, publisher, big name game in there. I don't know.
I mean, EA already confirmed that they're doing what they've been doing for E3. So it's like, okay, well, clearly we're gonna see first look at Madden 21 then. Like,
Right.
oh, this seemed totally pointless. Not to mention too is like, okay, even though so I was a little confused with this at first, but then I saw an article on it, and this is kind of shitty of EA. So they're gonna do the free, yeah, shocker. So they're gonna do a free update to the Series X version, but it is not the smart delivery. So you have to buy it before December 31st of 2020.
Okay.
And you only have up until March 31st of 2021 to redeem the Series X version. So basically, let's say like a year from now, if the Xbox One version of 21 is
when it goes
$10,
when it goes dirt cheap after the Super Bowl in
you
late
will
March
not-
or April,
you will not get the Series X version.
Why? I mean, of course, they do something different, right? Like they can't just go with the flow,
Of course,
and do what everyone else is doing. But that's weird. Like, why not just do what everyone else is doing? Especially if it's going to be free anyway. That's just weird. I don't know. I don't like it.
I don't know. So that was their because I was curious because I was like because they mentioned that and I'm like wait a minute the smart delivery didn't pop up like the other videos did so like why not? And then there's an article after the video that explained it and I was like oh well that's stupid.
That's EA.
I mean, right, exactly. But it's like some people are saying like oh well why are you buying 21 after December 31st anyways? But it's like that's just
because maybe you don't get hyped about football till the playoffs.
Well, right, and actually, that's a lot of people. I mean, like for me, like I used to buy NHL every year, but then I stopped buying it. But then every year when the playoffs come around, I'm like, oh, maybe I should. Like, I get that. It's like maybe I should get the NHL.
Even what I would get, same thing. NHL every year, I'd play it a ton when I first got it, and then I'd fall off and play other stuff. And then the playoffs start up, and I'm watching games all the time. I'm like, man, I could go for some hockey right about now.
Right.
Exactly. I don't know. Stupid EA. So, anyways, after that, we got a true smart delivery game. After that, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
Man,
I'm so pumped.
I'm glad you're happy. I'm glad you're happy.
This was another game that I looked at and saw like the character models, and I'm like, these don't look good.
Agreed. I don't disagree with you at all. I no, like it's weird because like during the cutscenes and stuff, like the character models didn't look great. But then when they jump into like the first person actual like game, like the quick glimpses of like the actual gameplay, I thought that looked actually pretty good. Like, but then when they did like the actual character models, I was like, this is.
Yeah, the gameplay looked cool. Like, well, I think its gameplay looked cool. And then, but let me tell you about the range of emotions I had with that trailer. So like it starts out and they're showing these people hung up by their faces, like smiling faces. I'm like, oh my god, new Arkham game. And then
that's your own fault.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Smiling faces like that with bulging eyes. Tell me Joker more than anything else.
Right.
And then they show the 3 studios. I'm like, none of those are Rocksteady. What the hell is this? And I was like, okay, it's not Batman, so I hate it. And then like, okay, the game looks kind of cool. I never played the original though. So I'm like totally up in the air now what I'm thinking about the game. But initially, I went from super loving what I saw to super hating what I saw to angry benevolence somewhere in between. I'm not.
I'm so glad that trailer did that to you.
Oh, I was sitting right here, and it was one of these things like I like literally somebody was like, and it wasn't that, and it was just like I put up in my seat, hands to mouth, and just
And then you disappointedly go back in your seat.
Yeah, just slouched.
I would say when I saw it, when I saw like the character models and the smiling guys, my first thought was something to do with We Happy Few.
When
Initially,
go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say initially that's kind of what I was thinking too. I thought it was something from at least from that like I was like, oh, this is very very similar. And then about shortly after, once they showed the main character guy that was in there, I was like, oh wait, I know what this is. Like I finally like for me because I played the originals, I was like, okay, I started getting the vibe and I was like, oh, I know what this is.
What's next? I can't talk about this anymore.
Well, for me personally,
I'm so
I reserved that.
Glad that
I reserved it on Best Buy before my GCU was up, so I'm super pumped that is a smart delivery. So I am super excited for that. The next one actually got a double whammy. This is the only one that got the double whammy of the smart delivery and Game Pass, and that is that Call of the Sea. So this kind of look like Mike. This looks like up your alley.
Yep, that's that one. That looks like for me. It looks like the walking sim, like trying to. And it's like you were talking. The husband goes on this grand journey, but the wife was sick, and the husband brought the wife on this journey with him, and she starts feeling better. So like, it's one of those stories. It's probably gonna be sad. But yeah. It's gonna.
You know what the world needs right now? More sad stories.
Yeah, about illness. So. But yeah, it was. It definitely was like something that was right up my alley. So once again, though, happy I got my Game Pass.
And that was another one where again, like, well, this one's different. The graphics didn't blow me away, but with that art style, they're not supposed to.
Correct.
Right.
But also, it's not showing off like the alleged power of this console.
Right. No, for sure. Next up is another smart delivery game called The Ascent. So this looks awesome. This is an asymmetric shooter. I'm assuming it's gonna be like a twin stick shooter in a cyberpunk world.
Mm-hmm.
It looks
like a twin stick shooter with a story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's straight up like I said. It's the twin stick shooter. Look just like a revved up Housemarque game from the early PlayStation 4 days. Yeah, that looks really cool.
Yeah. After that, another Game Pass game coming called The Medium. This is going to be a psycho thriller horror survival type game coming in holiday 2020. And they said that the composer of the game is from the Silent Hill series. Mm-hmm. So it looked creepy as hell. And adding Silent Hill sounds and music, I'm in.
Yeah, that looked very cool. It looked very adventure-y. It's from, oh my god, what do these people do?
Blair Witch and Layers of Fear.
They did Blair Witch?
According to this article I pulled up here.
Oh,
I think they published it, but it was Layers of Fear and Observation. Observation I think they made too. I think.
Oh, okay.
If I'm wrong, Games Radar is wrong, so blame them.
I am. So I mean, a lot of people like Layers of Fear. I didn't play either one of those games. I wasn't very super on top of Observation, and a lot of people liked it. But this looked cool, and it looked very adventure-y. If I know going off their other previous games, it's probably not going to be super action heavy, which is fine. And something like this, like psychological horror adventure, sounds like fun.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that was one of the ones I was most excited about from today.
Yeah.
That makes sense because I looked at it and I just meh.
That's why this podcast works. You got something for everybody.
After that, we got another smart delivery game. Something new from Bandai Namco. Scarlet Nexus. This looks like your typical action anime type game. It looked cool. Looks fun.
Yeah, that looks like it. That's on top of people's games. That's a steak game all day long for sure.
Oh yeah, I will. I'll be grabbing it next day one. At least as of right now.
Is it bad that when I
After
saw
that,
a game that had like Japanese characters in it and the environment, I'm like, oh, it's a steak game.
Yeah.
as long as it's not, as long as it's not sold combat, I'm in.
That's not your fault, Art. That's not your fault.
Well, yeah, with
Stereotypes
Bandai,
exist for a reason sometimes.
it's fine. After that, we got another smart delivery game. Second Extinction, Reclaim Earth. It is Turok. Basically.
Yeah, and
like team-based Turok.
Yeah, team-based, and you're just like shooting up dinosaurs and just like eviscerating them, like just like splitting them in half and all kinds of really gory dino guts everywhere. So yeah, sure, cool.
So in.
Let's do it.
Let's bring that to Game Pass as well. Actually, come on, that would be nice. Then after that, we got another smart delivery game, which this one I am so excited for because it is coming out. They announced during the launch of the Xbox Series X, Yakuza Like a Dragon. This is the new Yakuza game that just came out recently in Japan. But the fact that it's coming to Xbox the same day as all the other systems is awesome. And the director was on right after the trailer, confirming that it's during the launch slate. So that means launch slate usually is like 2-3 weeks of the launch date. So
very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
super pumped for that. Then after that, we wrapped up the show with another smart delivery, as we talked about earlier, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Got a new trailer that showed about 2 to 3 seconds of realistic gameplay from the game.
Okay. Footage from in the game is different than gameplay. That was, I think, the main sticking point of this whole event was that they were supposed to be making gameplay, and gameplay, to me, is like
someone playing the game.
Someone playing the game. Like I have a HUD. I can, we're moving camera around. We're not just doing we're not, filming something in the game. Even though all this stuff is probably in the actual game.
We're not showing a cutscene from the game.
Right. I mean, that's not what I think this was always promised. And even the stuff that they did show that was in game, like I feel like a lot of the stuff from Dirt looked like it was in the game, like the Dirt 5, a lot of stuff was in game. But again, it's cars. I literally said when they showed cars come up on the screen, I literally said fart sound. I didn't make the fart sound. I said fart sound. It's just like, here we go. Like the classic launch lineup of games. We got to have a racing game. We got Madden now too. It's just like, it was like
there's got to be a shooter in here somewhere.
And we, they got this.
Halo will be the shooter, and
yeah.
Right. So it's just like, all right, so we're gonna do the same exact type of launch lineup as we always do, but
of course.
But like, I'm still super excited about Valhalla, but I would have liked to have seen. I remember when the first time they showed Origins at E3, whatever that was, and they just showed a guy playing it for like 15 minutes, and I learned so much about that game from those 15 minutes because it was different, it was new, especially for Assassin's Creed. But just having like 15 minutes of Series X gameplay and a new game on top of that, like that could have been like a double whammy moment for them. And I can't believe the game isn't, in a playable state now because the game's coming out this holiday season. So they got to have something playable at this point.
Oh, for sure.
So I don't know.
I wonder if that's Ubisoft. I wonder if it was Ubisoft being like, "Hey, we're going to do our E3 showcase thing, and so here's a quick thing, and we're going to show a big demo." Because I think Ubisoft already said that they're going to do like their typical E3 thing, but just obviously in digital format.
Right.
But it's still, but even just give us like you don't have to give us a big demo. Just give us like 5 minutes, even just 5 minutes. Like so I just want to see that running at 4K at 60 frames a second. That's all I wanted to see for like I said, for two, even if it was like 2-3 minutes. I just want to see it running at 4K at 60 frames. That's all I needed to see.
Yeah, like Art was saying, like nothing looked next gen on any of these things today. Nothing looked like that's a step forward. I feel like half the stuff could have been playing on what I currently have in this room right now.
Right.
Actually, the only thing I would say is maybe that Bright Memory Infinite, the very first thing. The very first thing was very sharp and clean and smooth.
But like, was that a video or was that the game though too? because
Sure. Well, yeah, right. We don't know, right? But I mean, but like the way it was cut, it made it seem like it's like okay, if that's what it seems like, if that is what it is, like on the Series X, that's super impressive to me.
no, I agree.
But if it goes off the vibe of everything else, then I understand what you're saying. Like it seems like, hey, this is just another video, kind of like in-engine video.
Right, and like I think it's gonna be tough for people to like portray the difference of a next gen console through a streaming, video. I think
Right.
that's also a tough sell because like I mean I remember I have my this is a 4K screen right now too, so I remember looking at those things before I bought a Pro. I'm like, oh, this looks really good, but it
Mm,
still didn't look nearly as good as it did when I put it up on my big screen.
sure.
So like we're not gonna. It's like most things. Like we're not gonna know until we get it in our hands and actually play it and see what we have in terms of the actual finalized product. But
Mm.
today was sold as like first Series X gameplay,
Yeah,
and it was a
another
half.
over.
It was a half an hour of a bunch of games that, I mean, there were world premieres and things like that, and some of it
Right.
looked good, but a lot of it we don't know what that it's going to ultimately going to look like, or what it's going to ultimately play like, or what's going to ultimately look like or be, and definitely don't know what the gameplay looks like because we damn near saw none of it today.
Yeah. And
Right. No.
another thing for me was like they showed a lot of games that we've never heard of before from a lot of studios we've probably never heard of before,
Mhm.
and like I feel like for those games you need to have more than like a 20-second video clip showing just in-engine video, like what is going on. Like that the first game they showed, what's going on in that game? What's the story behind it? Why are you
Mhm.
you know slinging 7 different weapons at a time? Like it looked cool, but what is it? Who
Right.
who's making it? Have these people done anything before? Should I trust them? You know, it's like it's one of those things like when a new Kojima game comes out, his name's the first thing that pops on the screen. Like, okay, you have my attention. I know what you've done before. I know your body of work.
Right.
It was just like I don't know. It felt like kind of like a souped up like indies presentation type thing. Which I mean, you have Dirt, you have Madden, you have Assassin's Creed, you have Yakuza. Those obviously aren't indies. Those are established franchises. But a lot of this other stuff, it's some of it looked good, some of it didn't, but we don't know anything about the people making it or what the game is about or anything. And even like after today, we don't even know how the game plays because they just showed us pre-rendered videos.
Yeah.
I think July is going to be huge for Microsoft because I mean the last bunch of events from both consoles really have not been anything to really write home about, but
Sure.
they got all these first party studios. Jeez, all these first party studios. They're going to show who knows what in July, but like I know they're going to have like every month they're going to show something, but I think that July one is going to be like, are people really going to get a new console from Microsoft when they literally can play all those games on their current Xbox One right now? So if why at this point, I mean, I'm going to get it because I want it because I can and I have that. I can do that if I want to. A lot of people don't have that option, so they have not. I don't think they've given the normal consumer any reason to buy the new console as of yet. And July needs to be that time where be like, all right, these games look completely different on this thing. There's going to be a completely different experience on the Series X as opposed to anything else we already have on the market. And here's 8 reasons why. And if they don't do that, they might just be they're going to be going into a deficit here. I think going into the next generation because I mean PlayStation is going to have their first party games that we're pretty much going to know we're going to get some sequels for Horizon and Spider-Man and God of War. So like those are huge titles and people know that's going to I don't think that we don't know yet, but I don't think they're going to play on PlayStation 4. So if you want to play those new games, you're probably going to have to buy the new system, which sounds for some reason better in my mind than playing these new games
Well, if you're trying to sell them, if
on
your
an
goal
Xbox
is to
One.
sell that new hardware, why do I need this hardware as opposed to what I currently have? That's what you need to sell people on. And games being only able to be played on that platform is a selling point. or games
Or
playing
just-
considerably better
Yes.
on that platform is a selling point. But
Yes.
saying I'm gonna like they haven't shown us anything like that. I mean, it's gonna be interesting how much they show that because they want to sell you on the new thing, but at the same time they don't want to make their old thing look like a piece of shit.
And all this stuff today did anyone say exclusive?
No.
Nothing today said exclusive.
No,
right, but I mean, third parties can do exclusive too. But like,
right.
But,
yeah, no, none of it was exclusive. But no, and I definitely agree with you on that. I mean, I think they need to, like July. I think we're gonna get a big demo, obviously, of Halo Infinite. Like that's big thing of Halo Infinite. For the Forza fans, we're gonna get a big thing for Forza. Obviously, Forza 8. It's gonna happen.
Farts down.
I'm hoping.
Sorry, it's cars. The only kind of game I don't play is racing games. So I gotta brag.
It was a backfire. It's fine.
I mean, I'm hoping they have some kind of big surprise, like that, well, quote unquote surprise, as in Fable. Showing a demo of Fable. Even if it's not a launch title, just like a shortly after launch. I don't think that Fable's gonna be a launch title. I could see that being like a early 2021 kind of title, like that kind of thing. But I also think, and I get what your point is. Like
outside of Ninja Theory, what are all these new studios doing?
Well, right, there's all that too. Right. I mean, I'm sure we'll get some Hellblade 2 gameplay for sure. But like you said, like with the PlayStation 5 getting all like, hey, these games are gonna be only on PS5. I think they're actually kind of using that advantage of where the Xbox didn't sell great this generation. So that's why they're pushing like, hey, if you get the Xbox One version, you'll get this too. So for those of you that did buy the Xbox One, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You can still buy the game, enjoy the game, and then when you get the Series X, you'll get the better version of it. And for you guys that didn't get the Xbox One, here's the Series X version. You know what I mean? Like, and I think in that aspect, like I'm trying to think of it more that way, where I think it's kind of smart in that aspect. But it's also way smarter too at the same time, where it's like, hey, I really want Spider-Man 2. Fuck, I gotta buy PS5.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like I have to get it. Like I just have to. But I do respect that Phil's like, hey, thank you for you guys that did support us this gen. We're going all in on this gen, but we don't want to forget about you guys. Like that's kind of the vibe, just from that's what they're doing with the smart delivery.
And I also think how Sony handles that could either make it a non-issue or make it a big selling point for Xbox. If Sony comes out and says you could, The Last of Us 2 is coming out, you can buy The Last of Us 2 remastered or whatever for another $60 when PS5 comes out. Well, that's obviously a huge thing for the smart delivery for Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
If Sony does the smart thing and just says, hey, you already have the game, download a patch and it'll be upgraded, then that kind of negates that a little bit.
And again, we're talking in like I don't know, it's because Sony hasn't told us a bunch of exactly, because Sony hasn't told us a ton of stuff either, which I don't think is good either.
Give me some kind of schedule.
I mean, I don't know what I want. I mean, I want everything, obviously, because I'm an American. But I just think that if they should have something at some point. I mean, it's May now, so we're only a few months away from these things coming out, and like if they tell me like and Last of Us 2 comes out in a month, 2 months is Ghost of Tsushima, so they're like, hey, buy it now for this price, $60 gets you in, you can play it forever, and even if like I'd be fine with like a $10 like enhancement pass or something like that, like where you can download the PS5 patch and it'll play to the next thing. I just thought about this too a couple days ago. I meant to bring this up, but when you were talking about the specs for the PlayStation 5, they're talking about having like a PS5 mode, a PS4 Pro mode, a PS4 mode, right? Which I don't know why they would have that 4 and 4 Pro mode, but whatever.
Emulation for games that don't create a PS5 patch or mode or upgrade.
No. I mean, like, why have a 4 Pro mode and a 4 mode? Like, why have all those? Like, why?
So you can still get like the 4K and not, say someone doesn't, backwards compatibility. Someone will put a PS4 game out that has PS4 Pro features, but they never release a patch to make it PS5 compatible. So you still get the 4K, goodness from.
Well, right, the Pro, like Mike was saying, the Pro makes sense, but why would you have a standard PS4 mode? That makes no sense.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So anyway, so like to me that says to me that they're not going to be able to put a PS4 game in and make it a PS5 quality game because you have a PS4 mode and a PS5 mode, right? I don't know if that's true. Just again, pure speculation because again we don't know. But I don't know. There's still a ton of uncertainty going into this, and I was hoping today was going to give me a little bit of clarity, and it didn't.
No.
I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be hardware related and things like that. I was like, maybe give us a little something here, but it didn't help.
When they said third parties, I was expecting more like big third parties.
I agree. No, I agree with you.
I mean, the fact that I used the word more tells me I didn't get what I expected.
Right. And
I mean that's not their fault. They didn't advertise a bunch of stuff that wasn't there.
Well, sure.
Right. And that could mean they're not ready yet because again, E3's in a month. Maybe they weren't ready to show their thing. Yeah. Maybe that means Sony's buying up all the rights to those games where they can have like the Sony logo at the end of every one of the big AAA title trailers. Like who knows? Again, we don't know. So there's more. I don't know. There's more questions than answers after today, but there's
not many more answers.
No. Valhalla looks cool though. Valhalla looks really cool. Nice.
The thing that was revealed like 3 days ago looks cool, but they showed it again.
I call false advertising on that one because even Ubisoft's like, oh, catch your first glimpse at gameplay for this, and it's like, no, that wasn't. No.
Yeah. I don't know.
So it wasn't only Microsoft; it was Ubisoft that lied to us as well.
And like you said, Ubisoft's going to have their own thing during the
E3, But don't say that. Just don't give me hopes like that. I was expecting, like you said, the typical 5-minute demo.
See more of Valhalla on inside Xbox, and get more details on how. Get more details. That's all they needed to say, and it's not an internet shitstorm that gamers love.
Love a good shitstorm.
We live on that. So. That's it. That is the end of Inside Xbox. Did you watch any of the developer stuff afterwards? I know there's a couple of tidbits that came out.
No.
But nothing too substantial, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. That's all we got for you guys this time. We're gonna play a bunch of Farming Simulator. Are we really doing that, by the way? Is that actually going to happen? Before I actually start playing it for 3 or 4 hours tomorrow now.
No, yeah,
this is why we don't do my gift to you anymore. This is exactly why we don't do it anymore.
Everyone has to play at least an hour of it, we'll say.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. I can do that.
Okay, we'll figure out an hour. So stay tuned for Farming Simulator 19 recap next time. See you next time, Stickheads.